stars were quiet. The space was empty. For thousands of years, the galaxy lived with rules. Old, powerful alien races made those rules. They controlled space. They controlled peace. But today, something new had come. High above the planet of Valora Prime, the largest alien space station floated. It was a home for diplomats, leaders, and spies from every part of the galaxy. They called it the Eye, because from here, they could watch the stars. And today, their eyes were wide with fear. "Is that real?" whispered Captain Voro, his eyes fixed on the giant screen. The room was full of leaders from 100 different worlds. Tall, short, scaled, furry, winged all, standing silent, staring at the same thing. On the screen, a massive ship slid through space. Dark, sharp, silent, but alive with deadly energy. It was not like the smooth, shining ships of the old galactic empires. It looked angry. It looked like war. "Where did it come from?" asked Chancellor Rexel, her golden feathers shaking. No one answered. They all knew the answer. The whispers had been growing for months. Some thought it was a joke. Others thought it was impossible. But now, the proof floated in front of them. Humans, the youngest race in the galaxy. Small, strange, unpredictable. They came from a planet called Earth. For centuries, they stayed quiet, hidden, weak, out, but not anymore. This was their first warship, and it was huge. The ship was shaped like a blade, long, dark, with red glowing lines running across its sides. It moved slowly, like a predator walking through a forest. Around it, space shimmered. The ship was covered with energy shields thicker than any ever seen. "Size?" asked Admiral. Kren, the computer beeped. Numbers filled the screen. Gasps filled the room. "It's impossible," muttered Voro. "It's twice the size of our largest battleship." "And fully armed," added the Admiral grimly. The room fell silent again. For thousands of years, old empires believed they ruled space. They had the biggest fleets, the strongest weapons, the best technology. But now, a new player had arrived. And they didn't come quietly. A human warship. But why? No one knew. "We must prepare our fleets," growled General Tharn, his reptilian eyes cold. "They bring war." "Or they bring peace," said Elder Vexa softly. "But they bring power. And that is enough to fear." On the screen, the ship's engines burned softly. It made no threatening moves. No weapons were fired. No ships were launched. But its presence was enough to send fear through the station. Suddenly, a message appeared on the communication screen. "Incoming transmission origin. Human vs. Sea Alpha." Room froze. "Put it through," ordered Chancellor Rexil. The screen flickered. A face appeared. Human. His skin was pale. His eyes cold blue. His uniform was dark, sharp, simple. He spoke with no emotion. But his words carried weight. "This is Commander Marcus Hale of the Terran vessel Indomitable," he said. "We come in peace." Relief washed through the room, but only for a second. Commander Hale continued. "We seek no enemies. We respect the laws of space. But let me be clear. We are prepared for any threat." The message ended. The screen went black. The room was silent again. "They come in peace," whispered Vexa. "But they are ready for war," finished Admiral Kren. No one spoke for a long time. Each leader thought the same thing. Humans had survived their deadly world. They had faced wars, storms, disease, hunger, and they had one now. They had taken that same strength and built it into their ship. A ship that could destroy fleets. A ship that could rewrite the rules of power. The old empires had always looked down on humans, called them weak, primitive, unworthy. But now, no one dared to laugh above them. In the cold silence of space, the human warship floated, watching, waiting. All fleets. "Stay in position," ordered Chancellor Rexel quietly. "No one. Make a move until we know exactly." They want. The The stars were quiet again, but the galaxy was not at peace. The arrival had changed everything. The meeting hall of the Galactic High Council was the largest room in space. Its walls were made of shining silver. Its floor glowed like glass. Flags of 100 alien worlds hung from the tall ceiling. But today, no one looked at the flags. No one admired the beauty. Today, everyone was afraid. They arrived. Just like that, hissed Elder Vexa, her voice sharp, her skin glowing faint blue. Without warning, without permission. They didn't need permission, growled General Tharn, his reptilian claws tapping the table. Not with that ship. A giant hologram floated in the center of the hall. It showed the human warship, the Indomitable, long, dark, sharp-like. A blade. Bigger than anything the Council fleets had ever built, the ship hovered silently in orbit above Valora Prime. It's the heart of galactic diplomacy. Twice the size of our battlecruisers, said Admiral Kren, shaking his head. And from our scans, its weapons are beyond anything we know. The room filled with nervous whispers. We don't know their full power yet, Chancellor Rexel said, trying to stay calm. Her golden feathers puffed up slightly clear. Sign of stress. We shouldn't panic. Panic, snapped Tharn. I call this survival. You send that monster into our space and we smile. We welcome them. He said they come in peace. Elder Vexa reminded him quietly. They also said they are prepared, Tharn shot back. Prepared for war. The word war echoed through the hall. For thousands of years, the Council kept peace in the galaxy. Old empires, strong fleets, strict rules, it worked. Mostly, small fights happen, but nothing big. Nothing dangerous. But humans, they were dangerous. For generations, the Council ignored them. Earth was small, poor, divided. Their technology was primitive. Their people were violent, fighting each other over land, water, ideas. But somehow, they survived. Not only survived, they thrived. They were not supposed to get this far, muttered Vexa, shaking her head. Their world. Storms, diseases, wars, we thought. They would destroy themselves, but they didn't, said Admiral Kren, his voice low. They adapted, they evolved, and now they are here. A new hologram appeared beside the human warship. It showed Earth, the human homeworld. Mountains, oceans, deserts, forests, cities, glowing like stars across the night side. That planet is a death world, Vexa whispered. The Council knew what that meant. Harsh weather, dangerous animals, deadly diseases, constant natural disasters. Most species from death worlds never reach space. They died fighting nature, or each other. But humans were different. They survived their planet, Kren continued, and it made them strong. General Tharn leaned forward, his sharp teeth flashing. They didn't just survive, they conquered it. A heavy silence filled the hall. For a long time, the Council watched humans from afar. They laughed when humans fought. They sneered when humans struggled, never thought the species of Earth would matter. But now, Earth's children had arrived. With a warship that made even the oldest empires nervous. What do they want? Asked Chancellor Rexil. The question hung in the air. Power, revenge, respect. No one knew. One thing was clear. The humans had not asked for a seat at the table. They had brought their own table, with guns attached. We have to act, growled Tharn. We surround them. We show them who holds power here. Violence is not the only answer, Vexa argued. Fear will not control them. Their history shows that. She's right, said Admiral Kren. Their history is full of wars, but also full of victories. Pressure makes them stronger. What do we do? Rexel asked, her voice sharp now. Wait, watch. Hope they are kind. There were no easy answers. Outside, beyond the windows of the Grand Hall, the stars glittered. And among those stars, the human ship waited, silent, patient, watching. They are not like us, Vexa whispered. They are not born of calm worlds. They are not shaped by easy lives. They are born of fire. Storms, death, Kren agreed. And they have survived it all, added Rexel. A long pause. They didn't come here by mistake, Tharn finally said. His eyes narrowed. They planned this. They are testing us. Vexa nodded slowly. And the real question is, she said softly, who will pass the test? The council chamber fell silent once more. No one knew the answer, but everyone felt the fear the humans had arrived, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. For 3 days, human warship floated above Valora Prime, silent, still, watching. No one dared to make the first move. The alien fleet stayed in formation. Weapons ready, but quiet. The council's spies sent constant reports. Scientists scanned the human ship again and again. But the answers never changed. The Indomitable was bigger, stronger, smarter, and completely unknown. Inside the council station, the leaders waited. Fear and tension filled the air like thick smoke. And then, humans spoke. A soft beep echoed across every control screen on the station. A message appeared. Incoming transmission, origin. Human VSSCL, no one moved. General Tharn's eyes narrowed. Elder Vex's blue skin darkened with worry. Chancellor Rexel's feathers twitched nervously. They're finally ready, Admiral Kren muttered. The room fell silent as the message played. The screen flickered. A human face appeared. It was the same man from before, Commander Marcus Hale. .com. Cold. Confident. Behind him, the dark walls of the human ship glowed with soft blue light. Strange symbols, unfamiliar technology. And yet, everything looked sharp. Clean. Ready, Commander Hale's eyes scanned the council leaders through the screen, as if he could see them all. This is Commander Hale of the Terran vessel Indomitable. He began. His voice was steady. His words were simple. We come to talk. The room stirred. Whispers rose like wind. Talk. Thorn hissed. They bring a warship for a conversation. But no one interrupted the message. Commander Hale continued, we respect the peace. We understand the laws. But make no mistake, we're not here to beg. His eyes hardened. His face remained calm. But behind that calm was steel. For centuries, we have watched the galaxy from afar, Hale said. We saw your empires, your ships, your wars, and we learned. A map appeared beside him. Dozens of alien worlds lit up. Names of powerful races, the Zarn, the Valorans, the Graal Empire, all displayed. We saw how the strong control the weak, Hale said. We saw how the council decides. Who rises, who falls. His voice didn't rise, but every word cut deeper than the last. Now it is our turn. The map zoomed in on Earth, a small blue planet shining among the stars. We come from a hard world, Hale admitted. Our planet taught us to survive, to adapt, to fight. The image changed. Earth's storms, Earth's deserts, Earth's deep oceans, images of human cities, wars, rockets, soldiers, all flashing quickly. But we are not here to start a war, Hale said. We are here because we have earned our place. A final image appeared, the Indomitable floating silently in space. We come as equals. The message ended. The screen went black. No threats. No demands. No weapons fired, but the silence that followed was heavier than any gunshot. We come as equals. Elder Vexa repeated softly. But their ship says more, they bring peace. With teeth, Admiral Kren agreed. General Tharn slammed his fist on the table. This is not peace, he growled. This is a challenge, the leaders argued. Voices rose. Some wanted to welcome the humans. Others wanted to drive them away. Few wanted war. But Chancellor Rexel stayed quiet, watching the dark screen. She thought of Earth, a planet full of storms, fires, ice, a place that should have broken its people. But it didn't. It made them stronger. And now? They had come here. We cannot ignore them, Rexel finally spoke. Her voice cut through the noise. We cannot threaten them. Not yet. Tharn scowled, but said nothing. Rexel stood. The humans will come here, she said. they will walk these halls. They will sit at this table. And if they refuse to follow our rules, Tharn asked. Rexel's eyes were cold. Then we will learn, she said. We will learn if we are strong enough to face them. Everyone understood her meaning. The humans had arrived, not asking, not begging. They had come to talk. But if the galaxy wasn't ready to listen, then the humans were ready for something else. Outside the station, the Indomitable floated silently, watching, waiting. First contact had been made, and the real game had just begun. The meeting was over. The humans had spoken. Their ship still floated above Valora Prime, dark, powerful, patient, but deep inside the council station. The real conversation was just beginning. In a hidden chamber, far from the public halls, the oldest members of the council gathered. No cameras, no reporters, no soldiers, just the truth. They should not be here, whispered Elder Vexa, her glowing blue eyes dimmed with fear. The room was small, but its walls were lined with ancient records, old holograms, forgotten books that was never shared with the public, the humans. They survived everything, Admiral Kren muttered. We knew this day might come. General Tharn stood by the window, his sharp eyes staring at the human warship outside. No, he growled. They were not supposed to survive. The others fell silent. Vexa pressed a button. A hologram appeared in the center of the room. It showed Earth, long ago, but not the Earth the galaxy knew today. This was a wild, deadly world. Volcanoes exploded. Giant storms swept across continents. Earthquakes shattered the land. Huge beasts roamed the jungles and oceans. The planet was chaos. Thousands of years ago, Vexa explained softly, we watched this world. A small blue planet filled with danger. Images of early humans appeared. Small tribes, primitive tools, fire, fear. They were weak, Kren added, uncivilized, divided, but they were. Stubborn, Vexa continued. That was the problem. The hologram changed again. This time it showed ships, not human ships, alien ships. The council members watched in silence as the truth played out. Long ago, powerful empires had come to Earth, secretly, quietly, watching, studying, and then interfering. Genetic experiments, resource control. Quiet wars, Kren listed. We tried to control their evolution, tried to break them, Tharn said darkly. It was the truth the galaxy never spoke aloud, the old races feared. Humanity's potential. They saw the signs, intelligence, aggression, adaptability, dangerous traits, so they acted. Diseases were released. Natural disasters were triggered. Wars were quietly influenced, but nothing worked. Every time they fell, Vexa whispered, they stood back up. The hologram showed human history unfolding, empires rising, empires falling, wars, plagues, famine. But the humans survived, not just survived. They evolved. They learned to control fire, Kren said. They learned to build cities, cross oceans, reach the skies. The final images showed rockets launching into space, satellites circling Earth, human soldiers training, scientists working, and finally, the first human warship leaving their system. The Indomitable. They weren't supposed to reach space, Tharn growled. We made sure of that. But they did, Rexel said softly. The council members looked at each other. For centuries, council believed they controlled the future. But humans rewrote the rules. They are not like us, Vexa whispered. Their history is not peace, it is war. Struggle made them strong, Kren agreed. Suffering made them smarter, and our interference, Rexel asked. Vexa gave a sad smile. It made them unstoppable. The room fell silent. No one wanted to admit the truth. But it was clear now, the council's secret plan had failed. The humans were never supposed to become a galactic power, but now they had arrived. They know, Tharn said suddenly. The others looked at him. They know what we did, he continued. His voice was low, angry. They didn't just build that warship for defense. It's a message. It's a message to the Council. We survived everything you threw at us. We are still here. We are coming. Outside the window, the human ship drifted silently, dark, strong, watching inside. The council members stood in silence. We can't undo the past, Rexel finally said, but we can. Prepare. Prepare for what? Vexa asked softly. Rexel's eyes narrowed. Whatever comes next. The hologram faded. The room darkened, and across the stars, humanity waited. The galaxy thought they could control Earth, but now, Earth was here to control the galaxy, the hidden. History was no longer hidden. The galaxy held its breath for days. The human warship Indomitable floated above Valora Prime, silent, calm. But everyone knew this was not weakness. This was patience. Inside the council chambers, arguments continued. Talks are useless, growled General Tharn. They only respect power. We can't attack them, snapped Admiral Kren. You've seen that ship. We don't attack, Tharn said coldly. We test. The room fell silent. A test? Asked Elder Vexa carefully. Tharn's sharp teeth showed as he smiled. We send a fleet, small but strong. We block their path. We watch how they react. The leaders exchanged looks. It was risky, but better than sitting, waiting, fearing, and deep down, they all wanted to know just how dangerous were the humans. 12 hours later, the test began. 6 sleek alien warships approached the Indomitable. Fast, organized, their weapons powered but hidden. Their message clear. This is our space. Turn back or face the consequences. Inside the human ship, Commander Marcus Hale stood calmly on the bridge. His officers waited, some nervous, some curious. The alien ships were smaller, but still powerful. Should we raise shields? Asked Lieutenant Carter. Commander Hale shook his head. Not yet. The alien fleet formed a wall in front of the Indomitable, engines glowing, weapons charged. A silent warning. The Council's fleet captain sent a message. Your ship is not cleared for movement. You will power down and wait for further instructions. The message was polite, but the threat was clear. The human officers looked to Commander Hale. His face remained calm, but his eyes cold and sharp. Status of our systems? He asked. All? Green Carter replied. Shields holding. Weapons ready. AI defenses online. Good, Hale nodded. Then, he spoke one word. Show them. Across space, the alien fleet's systems flickered. Warning lights flashed. Control panels sparked. Communication lines went silent. The alien captains panicked. What's happening? One shouted. Their ships floated in space. Dead. No engines. No weapons. No shields. Completely disabled. Back on the Indomitable, Lieutenant Carter smiled. Full. System lockdown on all 6 vessels confirmed, he reported. Commander Hale nodded. We told them. We are prepared. The alien fleet hung powerless in space, but the humans never fired a single shot. No missiles, no lasers, no violence, just quiet, controlled. Dominance inside the council chambers. Chaos erupted. How did they do that? Tharn shouted, slamming the table. Hacked our systems. From that distance? Kren's voice was full of disbelief. Impossible, Vexa whispered. But they did it. The council watched as technicians struggled to regain control of the disabled ships. But nothing worked. It's not just their weapons, Rexel said, eyes wide with realization. It's their minds. The humans had not only built a warship, they had built the smartest, most advanced AI the galaxy had ever seen. Fast, silent, deadly. A weapon that didn't need to fire. To win, back on the Indomitable. The alien fleet systems slowly came back online. A final message appeared on every screen. We come in peace, but we are ready for anything. Commander Hale gave the order. Resume course. The massive human ship drifted forward. The alien fleet. They moved aside. No shots fired, no battle, but everyone watching. understood the message loud and clear. The humans didn't need to fight to win. Later, news spread across the galaxy. 6 powerful alien ships, shut down in seconds. No damage, no casualties, but total humiliation. Races that once laughed at humans now whispered in fear. If that's their first ship, and he asked, what comes next? In the council chambers, the mood was grim. General Tharn's anger had cooled, replaced by worry. They won the test, he admitted, without even trying. We underestimated them, Kren said quietly. Everyone did, Rexel added. Elder Vexa looked at the stars outside. No, she whispered. Not everyone. The oldest races. It's the ones with the darkest secrets. They knew humans were coming, and now they were here. The test of strength was over, and the humans had passed. Without firing a shot, the real game had just begun. The galaxy was changing. First, they laughed at humans. Then they feared their warship. Now, they wanted answers. In secret rooms across 100 worlds, alien leaders whispered the same question. What is their real weapon? Because the truth was clear. The ship, Indomitable, was only part of the story. The humans had something more, something hidden inside the council station. Elder Vexa watched the human crew arrive. It was the first face-to-face meeting. A small group of humans stepped onto the shining silver floors of the Great Hall. No weapons. No heavy armor. But there was something dangerous in their eyes. Commander Marcus Hale led them. Calm. Sharp. Silent behind him, human officers walked with steady steps. Their eyes scanned everything. Their faces showed no fear. And then, Council saw it. The real weapon. Not ships, not lasers. The humans themselves, they changed, whispered Admiral Kren, watching from above. It was true. Their muscles were stronger, their movements smooth and perfect. Their eyes glowed faint blue under the lights. These are not normal humans, growled General Tharn. Vexa nodded. They are enhanced. The Council's scientists had suspected it. Now they saw it with their own eyes. Genetic upgrades. Cybernetic. Implants. Neural enhancements. The humans had taken their strongest trait, adaptability, and turned it into their greatest weapon. They had upgraded. Themselves, in the meeting room, the talks began. Commander Hale spoke clearly. We are here, as partners. His voice was polite, his face unreadable. The Council asked questions. Why bring a warship? Why block their fleets? Why enhance their bodies? Holy answered with a calm, cold smile. Your galaxy is dangerous, he said. We are simply prepared. The room fell silent. His officers stood behind him, their eyes sharp, their bodies still. They didn't need to flex muscles. Their presence spoke louder than words. Later, in private, the Council's top scientists shared reports that the truth was shocking. The humans had changed their DNA. Their soldiers were stronger, faster, smarter. They had artificial implants in their brains, connected to advanced AI systems, reflexes 10 times quicker than normal. Strength, beyond natural limits, and their minds sharper than any other species ever seen. They are not just explorers, Kren whispered. They are evolved. They are built for war. Tharn added. Vexa said nothing. Her eyes darkened with fear. The old plan to control humanity had failed. Worse, the humans had taken those challenges and turned them into fuel. Every disease, they found a cure. Every war, they grew stronger. Every problem, they adapted and improved. Now, they weren't just surviving space, they were ready to rule it. Across the galaxy, rumors spread like wildfire. Whispers in dark bars. Reports from spies. Stories from soldiers. The humans upgraded themselves. They don't need ships. They are weapons. You can't fight them. They planned for everything. The old empires listened. The smart ones grew. Quiet, the arrogant ones made plans, and the hidden ones watched from the shadows. Not everyone wanted peace. Some feared the humans, for good reason, because deep down, they all knew the real secret weapon wasn't the ship, it was the human race itself. Back on the Indomitable, Commander Hale stood by the window, staring at the stars. Lieutenant Carter approached. "Council looks nervous," Carter said. Hale nodded. "They should be." Carter hesitated. "Do you think they'll fight us?" Hale smiled faintly. "They already tried." Carter remembered the fleet test. No shots fired. Total control. Hale's eyes narrowed. "They thought they understood us," he continued. "They thought they could break us. Long ago, and now." "Now," Hal said softly, "we show them why that was a mistake." Outside, the stars burned quietly, but the galaxy was on edge. The humans had revealed their true strength. They had evolved, upgraded, prepared, and their secret weapon was finally exposed. It was them. The galaxy was not silent anymore. The humans had arrived. Their warship floated like a shadow above Valora Prime. Their soldiers walked the halls with quiet confidence. Their message was clear. "We come in peace, but we are ready for anything." Races believed the message. Some feared it, but a few hated it, and one was already working. In secret, in the dark corners of space, far from the eyes of the Council, an ancient ship drifted through the black void. Its hull was covered in old symbols. Its engines were silent. Its crew hidden in the shadows. They were called the Zevkarn, a forgotten race, a dangerous race. Long ago, the Zevkarn ruled parts of the galaxy. Masters of deception, experts in manipulation. Their armies never marched. Their fleets never fired. They controlled from the shadows. But when the Council grew strong, the Zevkarn faded into the dark. Now, they had returned, and they had one goal: stop the humans. Before it's too late, inside their hidden ship, the Zevkarn leader, known only as the Shade, stood before a glowing map of the galaxy. His eyes, black as space, narrowed as he looked at Earth, and at the human warship. "They should not be here," the Shade hissed. "The experiment failed." Another Zevkarn, smaller but just as deadly, stepped forward. "But they survived." She replied. The Shade's claws tapped the table. "They survived because we were soft." Turned to his agents, spies, hackers, assassins. "Now, we correct our mistake." Back on Valora Prime, the Council was still divided. Some believed in peace with the humans, some wanted to attack, but no one knew. The real enemy was already inside. Zevkarn agents moved through the city, hidden in shadows, disguised, unseen, whispered lies into powerful ears. They hacked systems. They planted bombs. They wanted chaos. They wanted the Council to turn against the humans. To start a war, Commander Marcus Hale, standing aboard the Indomitable, sensed something was wrong. His officers reported strange system glitches, communications intercepted, false messages sent. Someone is playing games, Lieutenant Carter said. Hale's eyes darkened. "Find them." The first attack happened at night. An explosion ripped through the Council station's lower levels. Fires burned. Sirens wailed. The blame? Placed on the humans, false evidence showed human technology. Near the blast site, crowds gathered. Anger grew. Humans bring war. Voices shouted. "They can't be trusted. They are the real enemy." Zevkarn smiled from the shadows. Their plan was working, but they underestimated the humans Commander Hale didn't wait for. Permission. Using the Indomitable's AI, human systems traced the sabotage back to hidden signals. Old technology. Familiar patterns? Not human. Not Council. "Zevkarn, they've returned," Hale whispered. His face turned cold. Carter frowned. "Who?" Hale's jaw tightened. "The ones who tried to destroy us. Before we even reached the stars, the hidden." History was known to a few humans. Centuries ago, Earth suffered strange events. Wars that made no sense. Plagues that spread too fast. Natural disasters. Too perfectly timed, many believed it was fate. But in truth, It was the Zevkarn. They tried to stop humanity before space travel. They failed. And now, they were trying again. On Valora Prime, chaos grew. Council members argued. Fleets prepared. Fear spread, but Hale made his move. Human agents enhanced, trained, silent tracked the Zevkarn in the shadows. One by one, they were caught. Their disguises dropped, their true faces revealed. The council was shocked. The Zevkarn. They're alive? Rexel gasped. They never left, Hale replied coldly. The final battle didn't happen in space. It happened in the shadows. Human soldiers hunted the Zev. Karn through the dark corners of Valora Prime. The Zevkarn fought back. Knives, poisons, hidden traps. But this time, the humans were ready. They weren't weak. They weren't unprepared. They were evolved. In the end, the Zevkarn failed. Their leaders captured, their agents exposed. Their plan. But Hale knew the war wasn't over. The Zevkarn would return, and next time, it would not hide. As Hale stared out at the stars, his voice was low, but full of warning. They tried to stop us. They failed. But they're still out there. His eyes narrowed, and this time so are we. The hidden enemy had been exposed, but the real fight was just beginning. The galaxy was on edge. The humans had arrived, indomitable. Still floated above Valora Prime, their soldiers had exposed the hidden enemy, the Zevkarn. But now, the real question remained. Would there be peace or war? In the council chambers, the leaders gathered for the final meeting. The room was full of tension. Some feared the humans. Some hated them. Some respected them. But everyone knew the humans had changed everything. They destroyed the Zevkarn's plan, said Admiral Kren. Without their help, we were blind. Didn't destroy the Zevkarn. General Thawne growled. They exposed them, but the real enemy is still out there. Chancellor Rexel looked at the stars through the window. And what about the humans? She asked softly. Are they friends or a greater threat? No one had the answer. Outside, Commander Marcus Hale stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, watching the galaxy unfold. His ship floated like a silent giant. His crew waited. His enemies hid, and his allies stayed silent. Lieutenant Carter approached. Council is still divided, she reported. Some want peace. Others, not so much. Hole nodded. It was always going to be like this. Carter hesitated. Should we force their hand? Hale's eyes narrowed. Not with guns. Carter smiled faintly. Then how? Hale turned back to the window. By reminding them, we didn't come here to ask permission. The final meeting began. Humans entered the council chambers. Commander Hale walked at the front. Behind him, his officers enhanced, disciplined, ready. The alien leaders watched them with mixed emotions, fear, curiosity, respect. The room fell silent as Hale spoke. You've seen our ship, he began. You've seen our soldiers, he paused. You've seen we are capable of. No one interrupted. We didn't come to fight, Hale continued, but we didn't come to beg either. He looked at each leader in turn. For too long, your council decided who rises, who falls. His voice was calm, but his words carried weight. You tried to control our future, long before we reached the stars. The room stirred. But your plans failed, Hale said. You tried to stop us. We adapted. You tried to break us. Evolved. You tried to control us. We arrived. He took a slow breath. We come with peace, but not weakness. The council leaders exchanged nervous glances. Hale continued. You have two choices, he said. Fight us and lose, or stand with us and win. The room was silent. The old empires, the ancient races, they had ruled space for centuries. But now, the humans had arrived, stronger, smarter, prepared, and the old rules didn't apply anymore. Chancellor Rexel stood, her feathers ruffled, her eyes sharp. For thousands of years, she said, we believed we were untouchable, that no new race could change the balance. She looked at the human warship displayed on the screen. But you have, she admitted. The room stirred again. General. Thorn growled under his breath but said nothing. Elder Vexa nodded slowly. The Zevkarn taught us. Hiding in the shadows is dangerous. She turned to Hale. You stand in the light, she said. You speak your truth. You have earned your place. Rexel took a deep breath. Earth, humanity, will come to the galactic table. The room erupted into whispers. Some smiled, some frowned, but no one dared challenge the decision. The humans hadn't fired a shot, but they had one later. Aboard the Indomitable, Hale watched the stars. The galaxy was still dangerous. The Zevkarn were still out there. Old enemies would return, new threats would rise. But for now, humanity had done the impossible. They had survived, they had evolved, and now had arrived. Not as victims, not as invaders, but as equals. Lieutenant Carter stood beside him. Peace, she asked. Hale's eyes narrowed slightly. For now, Carter smiled. And if that changes, Hale's voice was calm, confident, human. Then we remind them, he said, why no one should underestimate us. The stars shined quietly, but the galaxy was watching. And this time, humans weren't asking for a place at the table. They had taken it. War or peace. The choice was no longer theirs alone. It belonged to humanity now.